Distracted by the thoughts troubling her mind, Hester hardly embraced the festivities and sprightly actions of those who surrounded her. She could hardly believe that only yesterday she had conversed with sweet Reverend Dimmesdale under the mysterious yet inviting canopy of the forest's trees. His gentle words and holding of her and Pearl's hands continued to haunt her hopes, kindling dreams of reuniting together as a happy family.
My mother, does thy reverend look so strange as he walks before thee? Why won't he acknowledge me, or hold my hand as he did by the forest brook?
He would love to hold thy hands and embrace ye everlasting love, but can't as he walks in front of thy community. We must hold our secrets close to our breasts for now, until we have left this life behind us to start anew with thy reverend, whom we both adore.
The captain of the ship could be seen within the crowd, talking to Roger Chillingworth in an exuberant fashion. Once concluded, they departed from one another, walking in opposite directions. Hester Prynne caught the captain's eye, as if separated from the crowd, despite standing in the middle of everyone. It was as if her Scarlet Letter and renowned reputation set her apart from everyone, creating a sort of personal circle engulfing her.
How might I help thee, Captain? You have a questionable air about you. Is our journey still continuing?
I do not have a direct question that's directed towards you. Instead, I have come to bear a bit of news that you may find interesting to thy journey we will be making soon.
What kind of information might this be categorized by?
I must beg the steward to make ready for one more berth than you bargained for. No scurvy or ship fever to fear on this voyage.
What do you mean? Is there another person that will be traveling with us?
Why, know you not? This physician here, Chillingworth, he calls himself, is minded to try my cabin with you. You must know of it, for he tells me he is part of your party and a close friend of the gentleman who spoke of.
Does he now? Well, I guess he does know the man well.
As they walked, Hester continued to think about the disappointing and rather frightening information the captain has told her. In the other direction, the captain walked, enjoying the scenery that surrounded him. Hester's eyes focused on Roger Chillingworth's smile that she had focused on, a smile that conveyed secrets and fearful meaning, despite the happiness and fervent spirit of the marketplace. On Dimmesdale's final day, the marketplace was alive with the usual bustling crowd and added festivities in celebration of the installment of a new statesman. Magistrates and soldiers had come from the state to mark this day above all others. Mr. Dimmesdale had been invited to give an election day sermon, and the entire market was buzzing, for it was the observation of those who beheld him now that never had Mr. Dimmesdale exhibited such energy as was seen in the gait and air with which he walked that day.
The same reverend that kissed me by the brook? My peace, Pearl. I cannot remember who was he, or so strange he looked. Now what mortal imagination would conceive such a thing? That yonder divine man, he really looks. Find it hard to believe him our same reverend. Aha! We know what that means, Hester Prynne. But truly, forsooth, I find it hard to believe him the same man that encountered thee on the forest path.
I know not of what you speak.
Fie, woman, fie! Dost thou think I have been in the forest so many times, and yet have no skill to judge who has been there? I know thee, Hester, for I behold your token daily. But this minister, when the black man sees one of his own servants, signed and sealed, so shy of owning to the bond that they have made, he hath a way of having that mark of his be disclosed, as is the record. Ah, yeah!
Okay.
And so Hester and Pearl Prynne witnessed the Reverend's last sermon by the foot of the scaffold, Hester feeling all the while that her whole orb of life, both before and after, was connected with this spot as a story that comes full circle.
Go!
And may God bless our new mayor.
Woo! Woo!
was touched by the minister's sermon. Its inspiring qualities, truly a powerful force.
Certainly, milady, perhaps his minister's best sermon yet.
Despite the joyous mood that overtook the town, some were not taking part in the new mayor's celebration.
Come hither, my dearest Hester, for I have news that needs to be shared with the town.
At the sound of Dimmesdale's voice, Chillingworth shot through the crowd with a fire in his eyes. Chillingworth pushed his way through a crowd of townsfolk and glares.
Halt, father! Hast thou gone mad? My fellow townsmen, the time has come to reveal myself as the one sinner of the world. For 7 years, I've been tormented by my horrible actions, and like Hester, I too bear a red sigma on my bosom to represent my great sin.
Dimsdale, will we spend the rest of our lives together?
Only he, both mighty and merciful, can make that choice. Until then, my heart will ache for you. God knows, and he is merciful. He hath proved his mercy most in all of my afflictions, by giving me this burning torture to bear upon my breast, by sending yonder dark and terrible old man to keep the torture always at red heat, by bringing me hither to die this death of triumphant ignominy before the people. Had either these agonies been wanting, I had lost forever. Praised be his name. His will be done. Farewell.
After many days, when time sufficed for the people to arrange their thoughts in reference to the foregoing scene, there is more than one account of what had been witnessed on the scaffold. Most of the spectators testified to having seen on the breast of the unhappy minister a scarlet letter imprinted in the flesh. However, nothing was more remarkable in the changes which took place after Dimmesdale's death than in the demeanor of the old man known as Roger Chillingworth. All his strength and energy, all his vital and intellectual force, seemed at once to desert him, insomuch that he positively withered up, shriveled away, and almost vanished from mortal sight, like an uprooted weed that lies within the sun. This unhappy man had made the very principle of his life to consist in the pursuit of revenge, and when there was no more devil's work on earth for him to do, it only remained for the unhappy mortal to await his death. Within the year he deceased, and by his last will and testament, he bequeathed a very considerable amount of property both here and in England to little Pearl, the daughter of Hester Prynne. And so Pearl, the elf child or the demon offspring, as some consider her, became the richest heiress of her day. Had she stayed at a marriageable age, she might have married the most devout Puritan of them all. However, in no long time after the physician's death, the wearer of the Scarlet Letter disappeared and Pearl along with her. The story of the Scarlet Letter grew into a legend. Its spell, however, was still potent, and kept the scaffold awful where the poor minister had died, and likewise the cottage where Hester Prynne had dwelt and one day returned. Hester had returned, yet Pearl was not with her. What had happened to her went unknown, but Hester stayed, and as for that scarlet letter, never once did it leave her bosom. But in the lapse of the thoughtful, self-devoted years of Hester's life, the scarlet letter ceased to be a stigma which attracted the world's scorn and bitterness, and became something to be sorrowed over and looked upon with awe, yet reverence too. So, said Hester Prynne, sacred love should make us happy, by the truest test of a life successful to such an end. After many, many years, a new grave was delved near an old and sunken one, yet with the space between, as if the dust of the two sleepers had no right to mingle. Yet one tombstone served for both, and on this simple slab of slate it bore a device, a brief description of our own concluded legend. So somber it is, and relieved only by one ever-glowing point of light gloomier than the shadow. On a field sable, the letter A gules.
We're cheating because we don't memorize our lines.
Now, what mortal imagination could conceive such a thing? That yonder divine man, he really looks. I find it hard to believe him our same reverend. Aha! We know what that means.
Oh,
Really creeping me out.
Not creepy. I'm beautiful. Alright.
Eddie?
No.
No. Why are you so nervous?
Like,
Get closer
okay,
together.
I got it.
Get closer together. Okay, go. Go.
Okay, I was truly, oh, frick, I messed up already.
Okay, ready?
I was truly touched.
Yeah, no,
Closer,
I
closer.
was touched. Stop it! You're too close to me. Okay, I got it. I was touched.
I have a
by
feeling
the,
she might hurt me, so
Okay.
I'm just thinking.
ready?
Yeah, go.
I was touched by the minister's sermon.
On.
I was
This is